In the year 2247, Earth was no longer alone in the galaxy. Humans had spread to nearby stars. They built colonies on harsh worlds and learned to survive. Their ships were strong, made from smart designs and old alien tech they had taken and improved. The human fleet had only 50 big warships. Each one was called an Iron Resolve class ship. They were not the biggest or the fastest, but they were tough and full of surprises. Captain Ji-hoon Kim stood on the bridge of the flagship Endurance. He was a tall man with short black hair and sharp eyes. Scars ran across his left cheek from battles long ago. He had fought in the First Contact War when aliens first found Earth. Many humans died then, but Ji-hoon lived. Now he led the best ship in the fleet. The bridge was quiet, except for the soft hum of machines and the low voices of the crew. Around him, officers worked at their stations. Tactical Officer Ha-eun Choi sat at her console. She was young, only 28, but very smart. Her fingers moved fast over the screens as she checked data. Engineer Min-sok Lee watched the power levels. He always worried about the engines. Gunnery Chief Tae-woo Han stood ready, his hands near the weapon controls. Ji-hoon looked at the big view screen. It showed the stars and the dark void of space. But something was coming. Something bad. Weeks earlier, scouts found strange signals. Huge fleets moved through space toward human territory. The enemy was the Vexari Dominion. They were an old empire of insect-like aliens. Their ships looked like giant bugs with hard shells and sharp legs. They had ruled thousands of star systems for a long time. Other races feared them. No one dared fight back. The Vexari saw humans as a problem. Humans grew fast. They took new worlds and did not bow to anyone. The Dominion decided to end it. They sent 12,000 warships, one human ship against 240 alien ones. No one had ever won against such odds. Admiral Soo-jin Park called all captains to a meeting on her ship, the Unity. She was the leader of the whole fleet. Soo-jin was calm and strong. Her voice never shook, even now. In the big meeting room, holograms showed the captains. Ji-hoon saw Min-sok's face, Tae-woo's serious look, and others. Soo-jin spoke first. The Vexari Armada is coming. They will reach our space in 3 weeks. We cannot run. If we scatter, they will hunt us one by one. We must stand together. A captain asked. What is the plan, Admiral? We are too few. Soo-jin pointed to a map on the hologram. The Orion Rift. It is a narrow path in hyperspace. Only a few ships can pass it once. The gravity there is strange. It can hide us and mess with their sensors. We fight there. Everyone knew it was dangerous. The rift could trap ships, but it was their only chance. We can use tricks. The Vexari fight like a hive. They think as one mind. If we break their link, they slow down. Ha-eun found something in old data. Their ships have a delay when the central mind is far. Ha-eun nodded. Yes, Captain. In simulations, if we hit their command ships first, the swarm gets confused for seconds. Seconds can save lives. Soo-jin looked at them all. We go to the rift. We prepare mines, drones, and every weapon we have. This is not just for Earth. It is for every human who ever looked at the stars. The meeting ended. Captains returned to their ships. On the Endurance, Ji-hoon walked the halls. He saw young crew members. Some were scared. Others looked angry and ready. He stopped at a group of engineers fixing a railgun. Keep working hard, he said. We need every gun ready. One engineer, a woman named Ji-yeon, smiled. We will, Captain, for home. Ji-hoon went back to the bridge. The Vexari fleet was like a cloud of dark shapes. Their ships had glowing red eyes and moving parts like claws. Some were small fighters. Others were huge carriers that spit out thousands of drones. They are coming fast, Ha-Un said. Overmind Krelvax leads them. He is their top mind. He thinks humans are bugs to crush. Ji-Hoon smiled a little. Then we will be the boot. The fleet prepared. Ships loaded extra missiles. Engineers built more drones. Medics stocked supplies. Everyone knew many would die, but no one ran. On the Defiant, Captain Min Sok Lee gave a speech to his crew. We are not the biggest. We are not the strongest in numbers. But we are human. We fight dirty. We fight smart. We fight until the end. His words spread to other ships. Crews shared stories. Some sang old songs from Earth. Others wrote letters to families they might never see again. Ji-Hoon stood alone in his cabin. He looked at a photo of his wife and son back on Earth. He whispered, I will try to come back. The fleet jumped to hyperspace. Blue light filled the view screens. They raced toward the Orion Rift. When they arrived, the stars looked different. The rift was a long tunnel of twisted space. Colors swirled like oil on water. Gravity pulled in strange ways. The 50 ships formed a line. Small fighters launched. Drones flew out like angry bees. Mines were dropped in patterns. Ji-Hoon sat in his chair. All ships, report ready. Voices came in. Ready, ready, one by one. Admiral Su-Jin spoke on the open channel. This is humanity's stand. We do not ask for help. We do not beg. We fight. She paused. To the Vexari, hear this. You come to end us, but we say no. You will remember this day. Humans do not yield. The message went out across the galaxy. Hidden relays carried it to other races. Some aliens listened in secret. They had never seen anyone challenge the Dominion like this. Ha-Un watched her scream. Enemy fleet will arrive in 2 hours. Their scouts are already here. Ji-Hoon stood up. Sound battle stations. Weapons hot. Shields up. Red lights flashed. Alarms sounded softly. Crew ran to posts. Guns powered up with a deep hum. Ji-Hoon looked at the view screen. Far away, a dark mass appeared. It grew bigger. 12,000 ships. A wall of death. He took a deep breath. Let them come. The Endurance waited at the front. Beside it, the other 49 ships held position. Small and brave against the endless night. The galaxy held its breath. The conflict was about to begin. 50 human ships versus 12,000 alien warships. The conflict that broke the galaxy. The Orion Rift waited like a silent trap. Twisted space pulled at the human ships. Colors danced on the view screens. The 50 Iron Resolve class vessels held their line. Shields glowed blue. Guns were hot. Every crew member knew this could be the end. Far in the distance, the Vexari Armada appeared, first as a shadow, then as thousands of red lights. The ships moved like a living thing. Hard shells clicked and shifted. Long spines glowed with plasma. Small drones swarmed around the bigger ones like angry insects. The whole fleet filled the sky. It looked endless. On the bridge of the Endurance, Captain Ji-Hoon Kim watched without blinking. His hands rested on the arms of his chair. All ships hold position, he said. His voice was calm. Admiral Su-Jin Park's voice came over the fleet channel. They are here. Remember the plan. Hit hard. Hit fast. Then move. Do not stand still. Ha-Un Choi's fingers flew over her console. Enemy lead ships entering range in 30 seconds. Their command nexus is in the center. Big carrier. Lots of guards. Ji-Hoon nodded. We start with the Vanguard strike. Defiant, Vanguard, Thunder, go now. Captain Min Sok Lee on the Defiant answered first. Copy that. Moving in. 3 human ships broke from the line. They accelerated fast. Engines roared. They headed straight toward the front of the alien wave. The rest of the fleet watched. The Vexari did not wait. A wave of plasma lances shot out. Bright green beams crossed the void. One hit the Resolute. The ship shook. Shields flared red, then died. Metal tore open. Fire bloomed inside. Captain Jian Park's voice came over the comms, loud and clear. Shields down. Hull breach on decks 3 and 4. We are still fighting. Her gunners fired back. Railguns spat solid slugs at near light speed. One slug punched through a Vexari cruiser. The alien ship split in half. Green blood and pieces floated out. But more beams came. Another hit the Resolute. The bridge exploded. Jian's last words crackled through static. Tell them we fought like hell. The ship went dark. Gone. Ji-hoon closed his eyes for 1 second, then opened them. Focus fire on their left flank. Drones out. Mines active. Human drone swarms launched. Tiny machines zipped forward. Some carried bombs. Others jammed signals. Mines hidden in the rift woke up. When Vexari ships passed close, the mines jumped. Bright flashes. Alien hulls cracked. Taewoo Han, gunnery chief on the Vanguard, grinned as he locked targets. Got one. His railgun fired. A Vexari dreadnought, bigger than most, took the hit in its core. The ship folded like paper. Explosion lit up the darkness. Cheers came from the crew. More alien ships pushed forward. They filled the narrow path of the rift. Numbers pressed in. The Vexari overmind Krelvax watched from his nexus. His many eyes saw everything. He sent thoughts to his fleet. Attack. Crush. No mercy. Human ships danced. They used the strange gravity of the rift. One moment a ship was there. Next, it slingshotted around a curve in space. Alien targeting missed. Beams hit empty void. Ha-un Choi shouted, I see it. Their hive mind has lag. When we hit fast, the back ships wait half a second. Use that. Ji-hoon smiled thin. All ships, pattern delta. Hit and fade. Target the gaps. The human fleet moved like wolves. Small groups rushed in, fired everything, then pulled back before the aliens could answer. Railguns roared. Missiles streaked. Lasers cut through shells. A Vexari carrier tried to launch fighters. Human drones met them first. Tiny explosions filled space. Alien fighters died by the hundreds. But the cost came fast. The Dawn took too many hits. Its engines failed. It drifted. Vexari boarders, big insect warriors with blades, jumped across. They tore through corridors. Human marines fought back with rifles and knives. Blood mixed on metal floors. Captain of the Dawn sent one last message. We held as long as we could. Good luck. The ship self-destructed. A big fireball took dozens of alien boarders with it. The battle went on for hours. Time felt slow in the rift. Ships burned. Crews screamed. Guns never stopped. Admiral Sujin Park on the Unity directed everything. Keep the pressure on their center. Do not let them spread out. Ji-hoon looked at his damage report. Endurance had holes in 2 decks, 20 crew dead, but still fighting. Captain Ha-un said, we destroyed over 200 so far. They are not used to losing this many, this fast. Ji-hoon nodded. Good, but we lost 7 ships. We need more time. The Vexari pushed harder. Their big dreadnoughts came forward. Plasma lances swept like brooms. The Fury vanished in a green flash. No survivors. Min-Sek Lee, on the Defiant, laughed over comms. They think numbers win. Let me show them. His ship dove low, used a gravity well to swing around, fired point-blank into a Vexari battleship. The alien ship cracked open. Min-Sek pulled away just in time. The galaxy watched. Hidden probes from other races sent pictures. Aliens who once served the Vexari saw humans fight. They whispered to each other. These humans, they do not break. Back in the rift, the first day ended. Smoke and fire floated everywhere. Wreckage blocked paths. Ji-hoon counted on his screen. 43 human ships left. Over 800 Vexari hulks, drifted dead. Sujin Park spoke to the fleet. Her voice was tired but strong. We hurt them. More than anyone ever has. Rest if you can. Eat. Fix what you can. The real fight starts soon. Ji-hoon looked at his crew. Ha-eun wiped sweat from her face. Tae-woo cleaned his gun station. Min-sok sent a private message. Still here, old friend. Ji-hoon answered. Still here. The stars burned cold. The rift waited. The humans waited. The Vexari regrouped. Their red lights grew bright again. The war was just beginning. 50 human ships versus 12,000 alien warships. The conflict that broke the galaxy. The second day in the Orion Rift felt like forever. Wreckage floated everywhere. Broken ships, pieces of metal, frozen bodies. The human fleet was down to 35 ships. Many had holes in their hulls. Air leaked out in white clouds. Lights flickered on damaged decks. But the crews kept fighting. Captain Ji-hoon Kim sat on the bridge of the Endurance. His left arm was in a sling. A piece of metal had cut him deep during the first day. Blood stained his uniform. He ignored the pain. Status report, he said. Ha-eun Choi answered quickly. Her eyes were red from no sleep. 23% of weapons still work. Engines at 60%. We lost another deck to fire. But the railguns are ready. Tae-woo Han checked his station. Ammo low, but we have some captured plasma rounds. Alien tech. We can use them. Save them for big targets. Admiral Sujin Park's voice came over the comms. She sounded tired. The Vexari are pushing again. Their main force is coming through the center of the rift. We cannot hold the line much longer. Everyone knew what that meant. The aliens had too many ships. They could afford to lose thousands. Humans could not. Captain Min-sok Lee spoke up from the Defiant. His ship looked bad. One engine was dead. Half the guns silent. Admiral, give me 5 ships. The worst damaged ones we go for their command nexus. The big carrier in the middle. If we take it out, their hive mind breaks. They get slow, confused. Sujin was quiet for a moment. Then she said, It is a one-way trip, Min-sok. I know, he answered, but it gives the rest of you a chance. Ji-hoon felt something tight in his chest. He had known Min-sok for 20 years. They trained together. You sure about this? Min-sok laughed a little. Someone has to do it, old friend. Better me than you. You still have a family. Ji-hoon did not answer right away. Then he said, Make it hurt. Sujin gave the order. 5 ships go with Captain Lee. The rest of us cover you. Hit and run. Buy them time. The chosen ships moved forward. Defiant, Shadow, Ironheart, Storm, and Blade. All damaged. All ready to die. They flew straight at the heart of the Vexari fleet. Alien beams came fast. Green light filled space. The storm took a direct hit. It broke apart in silence. No time for a last message. The other 4 kept going. Min-sok led them. Full speed, no dodging, straight in. Human drones flew ahead. They exploded against alien shields, made small holes. The 5 ships slipped through. Inside the Vexari formation it was chaos. Big carriers loomed like mountains. Smaller ships tried to block the way. Railguns from the human ships fired non-stop. Alien hulls cracked. Green fluid sprayed out. Min-sok's voice came over the open channel. Everyone in the fleet heard it. This is for Earth. For every human who ever dreamed of the stars. We are coming for you. The Defiant reached the command nexus first. It was huge. A living ship. Shell moved like breathing. Red eyes everywhere. Min-sok rammed his ship into its side. Metal screamed. The Defiant buried deep. Overload the reactors, Min-sok ordered. All of them. His crew did it. No hesitation. The other 4 ships did the same. They crashed into the nexus from different sides. Explosions started inside. Chain reaction. Bright white light grew. The nexus shook. Then it broke. A huge blast wave came out. Alien ships nearby spun out of control. Their movements stopped for seconds. The hive mind screamed in silence. It worked. Their coordination is down. Ships are crashing into each other. Sujin Park shouted, "Now, all ships, full attack, hit the gaps." The remaining human ships moved like lightning. They used the confusion. Railguns punched through weak spots. Missiles flew into open wounds. Captured plasma weapons burned alien armor. On the Endurance, Ji-hoon stood up. "Target that super dreadnought, the one with the big spines. Ram if we have to." The Endurance charged. Shields flared as beams hit. Hull groaned. Taewoo fired everything. The dreadnought's side opened. Marines launched from the Endurance. They wore heavy suits, carried rifles and bombs. Ji-hoon led them himself. His arm hurt, but he did not care. They cut through corridors, fought Vexari warriors hand to hand, big insects with sharp claws. Humans used knives, guns, even broken metal. Ji-hoon planted a charge on the alien core. Back to the ship. Explosions followed. The dreadnought broke apart. Back on the bridge, Ha-yoon cheered. "We got it. And look, over 4,000 alien ships destroyed or dead in space." Ji-hoon sat down hard. Blood dripped from his arm. "How many of us left?" 22, she said softly. The battle slowed. The Vexari pulled back a little. Their secondary commanders tried to take control, but it was not the same. The hive mind was hurt. Sujin Park spoke to the fleet. "You did it. You broke their spine. Rest now, eat, fix wounds. We are not done yet." Ji-hoon looked at the view screen. Dead ships everywhere, human and alien mixed together. He thought of Min-suk. No body to bury, just a bright flash. Ha-yoon put a hand on his shoulder. "He gave us time. We use it." Ji-hoon nodded. "We use it." The rift was quiet for the first time, but everyone knew the Vexari still had thousands left. The real test was coming. Humans waited, tired, hurt, but not broken. The galaxy saw the pictures from hidden probes. Other races watched in shock. Humans had done the impossible. They had stopped the unstoppable. But the war was far from over. 50 human ships versus 12,000 alien warships, the conflict that broke the galaxy. The Orion Rift had become a graveyard. Twisted metal and frozen bodies drifted in the strange gravity. Bright flashes still happened now and then when damaged reactors finally gave out. The human fleet was down to 22 ships. Most were hurt bad. Some had no shields left. Others flew on one engine. Crews were tired, hungry, and covered in blood and sweat. But they refused to quit. Captain Ji-hoon Kim leaned against the wall on the bridge of the Endurance. His arm was bandaged tight. The pain was sharp, but he pushed it down. He looked at the main screen. Red dots showed the Vexari fleet. Still thousands left. They had pulled back to regroup. Now they came again, slower but angrier. Admiral Sujin Park appeared on the fleet channel. Her face looked older. Lines around her eyes were deeper. They are using their reserves now. Psychic amplifiers. They're readying their final assault. They will try to break our minds. Stay strong. Focus on your duty. Ji-hoon felt it first, a cold feeling in his head, like fingers touching his thoughts. Voices whispered, "Give up. You cannot win. Die easy." He shook his head hard. "Fight it," he told his crew. "It is not real." Ha-eun Choi closed her eyes for a second, then opened them. "I can feel it too, but I will not listen." On other ships, it was worse. Some crew members screamed. They saw things that were not there. Friends turning into monsters, families dying again. A few lost control. They shot at nothing, or at each other. The Vexari used the confusion. Their boarding pods shot out like arrows, hard shells hit human hulls, claws cut through metal. Insect warriors poured in, tall, fast, with blades for arms and acid spit. On the Unity, Sujin Park fought on her own bridge. Her guards were dead. She held a pistol in one hand and a grenade in the other. She shot it in the face. Green blood sprayed. Another came. She threw the grenade. It exploded. Legs and shells flew. She spoke into the comms while fighting. All ships, hold your positions. Do not let them take the bridge. Fight room by room if you have to. Ji-hoon heard her. He grabbed his own rifle. Marines to the corridors. Protect engineering and the bridge. The Endurance shook as more pods hit. Vexari warriors broke in. Humans met them with everything. Rifles barked. Knives flashed. One Marine, a young man named Sung-ho, tackled a big insect. He stabbed it in the neck again and again until it stopped moving. Ha-eun stayed at her station. She kept the ship moving, dodged beams, fired what guns still worked. Captain, we have an idea. The rift has weak points, singularity pockets, old alien tech left here. If we overload captured Vexari drives, we can make a chain reaction, a black hole cascade. It will pull everything in. Us too, but it can take half their fleet. Ji-hoon looked at her. How many ships do we need to make it work? 5 or 6. They have to fly close, plant the drives, detonate on my signal. Ji-hoon thought for 1 second. Then he nodded. Do it. Who volunteers? Captain Tae-woo Han spoke first from the vanguard. I will lead it. My ship is still fast enough. Others joined. The Lightning, Guardian, Echo, and Phoenix, all damaged, all willing. Tae-woo said over the channel, we have always been outnumbered. Now we make the numbers not matter. Ji-hoon felt proud and sad. Good luck. Make it count. The sacrifice ships moved out. They flew toward the thickest part of the Vexari line. Alien beams tried to stop them. One hit the Echo. It spun away, burning. But the others kept going. They used the rift's twists, slingshot around gravity wells, dodged claws and plasma. Tae-woo led them deep. On the vanguard, Tae-woo locked the controls. Drives overloading. Everyone to escape pods if you can. But I stay. His crew argued. He shook his head. No time. Go. Pods launched. Tae-woo stayed alone. He smiled at the camera. Tell my sister I tried my best. The ships reached position. Captured singularity drives hummed loud, then screamed. Space bent. Light twisted. A dark spot grew. It pulled everything. First small ships, then bigger ones. The Vexari tried to run. Too late. Thousands of their ships slid toward the black hole. Hulls crushed. Engines exploded. Screams filled their hive mind. Sujin Park saw it from the Unity. Her ship was almost gone. Boarders everywhere. She looked at her last crew. We seal it. She ordered the core overload. For humanity. The Unity exploded in a white flash. The blast pushed more Vexari ships into the growing darkness. It swallowed light. The view screens went black for a moment. Then came back. The anomaly collapsed with a silent boom. When it was over, more than 7,000 Vexari ships were gone, sucked in or torn apart. The rest scattered in panic. Only 9 human ships remained. Most could barely move. Air was low, power failing. Ji-hoon sat on the floor of his bridge. He looked at Ha-eun. She was alive, bleeding from a cut on her head. Ta-woo was gone. Sujin was gone. Min-sok was gone. But they had won this round. Ji-hoon opened the fleet channel. His voice was rough. All surviving ships, report in. Voices answered. Weak, tired, but alive. He took a deep breath. We are still here. The stars came back. The rift was quiet now. Wreckage everywhere. Human and alien mixed. The Vexari remnants fled. Their empire cracked. The humans waited. Hurt, broken ships, broken bodies, but not broken spirits. The galaxy would remember this day. 50 human ships versus 12,000 alien warships. The conflict that broke the galaxy. The Orion Rift was silent now. No more bright beams, no more explosions. Only drifting wreckage and the soft glow of dying engines. The black hole cascade had collapsed. It left a dark scar in space where thousands of Vexari ships once were. The few alien survivors fled in panic. Their once perfect formation was broken. Ships bumped into each other. Some turned and ran without orders. Only 9 human ships remained. They floated like wounded animals. Hulls were black from fire. Windows were cracked. Air hissed out in thin streams. Power was low. Life support barely worked. Crews moved slow. Many sat on the floor. Others slept where they fell. Wounds were bandaged with torn cloth. Food was gone. Water was rationed to sips. Captain Ji-hoon Kim stood on the bridge of the Endurance, or what was left of it. Half the consoles were dark. The main screen flickered. He looked older than his years. His face was thin. Eyes sunk deep. The bandage on his arm was dirty and red. He held the back of his chair to stay upright. Ha-eun Choi sat at her station. Her uniform was torn. A cut on her forehead had stopped bleeding, but dried blood stuck to her skin. She checked the sensors again and again. No pursuit, she said quietly. They are running, all of them. Ji-hoon nodded once. He opened the fleet channel. His voice was rough, like gravel. This is Captain Kim on Endurance. All surviving ships, report status. One by one, weak voices answered. Lightning here, engines dead, 20 crew left, we need help. Guardian, life support failing, we have 30 minutes of air. Phoenix, bridge gone, acting captain speaking, we are blind but alive. 9 voices, 9 ships, from 50. Ji-hoon listened to each one. He felt every loss like a weight on his chest. Sujin Park, Min-sok Lee, Tae-woo Han, Ji-yeon, so many others, gone in flashes of light. He took a slow breath. We did it, he said. We stopped them. The Vexari are broken. Their empire is cracking, because of us. No cheers, no loud words, just quiet, the kind of quiet that comes after too much noise. Ha-eun looked up. Captain, there are signals. Not Vexari, other races. They are watching. Relays picked up our fight. They are talking about us. Ji-hoon turned to the screen. She put the feed on. Hidden probes from distant systems had recorded everything. The images spread across the galaxy like fire. Other species saw humans fight against impossible odds. They saw ships ram into monsters. They saw crews fight with broken hands. They saw the black hole take half an armada. A message came in clear text from an unknown source. To the humans of Earth, you have done what no one else could. The Dominion weakens. Worlds rise. We see you. More messages followed, some in strange languages, some translated by old tech. Gratitude, fear, respect. Ji-hoon closed his eyes. Send our reply, he told Ha-eun. Simple, we are still here. She typed it, sent it wide. We are still here. The words went out to the stars. Days passed slow. The 9 ships helped each other. They shared air, shared power, shared the last food packs. Engineers from different ships worked together in spacesuits. They patched hulls, fixed engines, made one ship strong enough to tow another. Ji-hoon walked the corridors of the Endurance. He saw his crew. Some cried quietly. Others told stories about lost friends. A young engineer named Sung-ho played a small song on a broken music player. It was an old Earth tune, soft and sad. Ji-hoon stopped by the medbay. A doctor worked without rest. She saved who she could, lost who she could not. Ji-hoon put a hand on her shoulder. Thank you, he said. She looked up, tired eyes. We all thank each other, Captain. Back on the bridge, Ha-Un showed new scans. The Vexari Dominion is falling apart. Client worlds rebel. Their hive minds fight each other. No central control. They cannot hold their empire. Ji-Hoon sat down. Good. He thought about home, Earth, colonies, families waiting. Some would never see their loved ones again, but the ones who lived would know freedom, real freedom. No more hiding, no more fear of the next alien fleet. Weeks later, help came. Not from Earth, not yet. From new friends. Ships from free systems arrived, small at first, then more. They brought food, medicine, engineers. They towed the human ships to safe space. One alien captain met Ji-Hoon face to face. Tall creature with smooth skin and bright eyes. You changed everything, it said. We were afraid of the Vexari for centuries. Now we are not. Ji-Hoon answered simply. We were afraid too. We fought anyway. The alien bowed low. Humanity has a name now. In every language, the Unbroken. Ji-Hoon smiled for the first time in a long time. Small, tired, real. Months passed. The 9 ships reached a safe port. New ships were built. Stronger, bigger, named after the lost ones. Defiant 2, Unity 2, Endurance 2. Ha-Un Choi stood on the bridge of the new Endurance 2. She was now fleet commander, young still, but her eyes held the weight of the rift. She looked at the stars, endless, bright. We did not just survive, she whispered. We changed everything. Ji-Hoon visited sometimes. He walked slower now. His arm never fully healed, but he smiled more. He told stories to new crews, about the 50, about the ones who gave everything. The galaxy was different. Old powers talked to humans, not as weak newcomers, as equals, as the ones who broke the unbreakable. Children on Earth learned new history, the conflict that broke the galaxy. 50 ships against 12,000. They learned the names. Ji-Hoon Kim, Sujin Park, Min-Sok Lee, Tae-Woo Han, Ha-Un Choi. They learned what humans could do when the odds were zero. And in quiet moments, far from crowds, Ji-Hoon looked at the stars. He thought of his wife and son. He thought of the friends gone. He thought of the message they sent. We are still here. The words echoed, across time, across space. Humanity had arrived, and the galaxy would never forget.